Hi, it's JP on Canada Day, and I find myself at Trenton North checking things out. The old ABB chargers are not getting any love. I'm going to go have a look at those in a second. Haven't looked at them yet. But the new chargers are getting put to good use. Those new Kempower posts are all mostly in use. The guy in the Tesla seems to be having some trouble activating. So, no surprise, he's probably not used to dealing with payment complications. So as we saw at Trenton South, just over there somewhere, the layout is exactly the same. Two ABB 50 kilowatt chargers are still in the ground. Two new Kempower dual-handled posts for 4 new connectors from Kempower, all powered by this single 200 kilowatt Kempower cabinet. We have to talk about the power distribution at this place. And I'm not quite sure I fully understand what's going on because the numbers don't totally add up for me. This cabinet is supposed to be able to kick out 200 kilowatts. And my understanding is that behind these vents, there's a power module behind each of them. And that means there are 4 power modules with 2 channels each of 25 kilowatts apiece. So 25, 50, 100, 150, 200. Right? Makes perfect sense. So it's 25 kilowatt granularity that can be switched to each of the 4 connectors, the Kempower connectors. There are a few cars charging, and this thing says 60 kilowatts available. So we're going to try this out using the NAX cable because someone else is using CCS, and using the CCS adapter. And now it's still ramping up. I'm getting 23 kilowatts, which is probably less than what the car wants. Yeah. So now they're getting 58. I'm getting 30, 8, 40. Yeah. It's ramping up. 45. Okay. 48, 50, what? 52, 53. My car is going to stop wanting that pretty soon. No way it'll keep doing that above 56%. Anyways, so 59 kilowatts there, 52 kilowatts there. And we've got some other people charging over there on the 200 kilowatt cabinet. Although I think the Tesla guy isn't charging it right now because he can't get it to work. So as far as I understand things, this is where I'm charging. I'm charging on the NAX port here. This other guy's charging on the CCS port here. I should be using 2 channels. So I should be eating 50 kilowatts of that available. And he should be using 3 of them. But I have a sneaking suspicion that those power modules can go a little bit higher because it says he's using 60 kilowatts. So let's pretend he's using 2 and I'm using 2. That would leave 100 kilowatts available for the other charging post. Now as we go over here, we can see that this guy's only drawing 36 kilowatts over here. So that's another 2 of those modules. Channels occupied. So that's 2, 4, 6. So that would leave 2 available, which would be a total of 50 kilowatts, and that's exactly what we see here. But if that other guy is actually pulling 60 kilowatts, it tells me that each of those channels can deliver a little bit more than 25 kilowatts. Very interesting. So this is a good test. Tesla guy gave up. The EV9 is only using 2 of the channels. I'm using 2, and the guy in the, what is that, a Kona, is also using 2. So leaving 2 free for the 4th connector. That makes sense. Okay, this I understand. It also tells me that either the displays are rounding just to show a nice round number, 50 kilowatts, 60 kilowatts, that kind of thing, and lying a bit, or those power modules can actually deliver a tiny bit more power than 25 kilowatts a channel. Maybe I should see if I can find someone at Kempower who could tell me the answer to that. So let's go back and have a look at the post I'm charging on and see if the graphs show us anything exciting. Okay, he's pulling 33. No, he's pulling 26. I'm pulling 33. If I look at my stats, yeah, no surprise on the volt there. Yeah, step down. It does that. Shows a nice smooth ramp. It's usually more sudden than that. But okay, that looks pretty normal for me. 373 volts, 83 amps. What about this guy? Oh yeah, you can see the step charging curve on that thing. Based on the amount of power he's getting, I'm guessing he's not limited by the charger. Maybe I should have a sneak peek at the EV9 charging curve again. I just talked to the EV9 guy, and he was expecting more power because he was promised more, and the graph showed that he was actually getting more power, but then it looks to my eye like other people came along and the system started sharing more power with them, and so he got less because there's a clear big giant step down in the amount of power he was getting. In fact, it dropped him about half just looking at that graph. So yeah, we're definitely power limited here when well, a bunch of people show up and all the connectors are in use. Not that we didn't know that was going to happen, but it's interesting to see how it's working out. And you know, now it's time to go check out my Bugaboo and see if anything's happened. I don't know, but we're going to find out. Both of these units are powered up. Last time I checked, the CCS connector here the latch was damaged and hadn't been fixed for over 2 years. So let's see if, now that they've put it back online, whether they fixed that. Moment of truth. Kind of doesn't look like they did repairs on this yet. Nope, still broken. I don't know what to say. Ivy? Not cool. Let's have a look at the other connectors, see if anything's different here. Nope, powered up. Holster is still all cracked up. At least this one has its latch. See, that's what it's supposed to look like. Severely limited power when all of them are in use. Even with just the EV9, the Kona, and our Bolt charging at the same time, the remaining NACS connector said that there was only 50 kilowatts available. So I'm guessing each of us were getting 2 channels out of the power cabinet, leaving 2 free for the remaining NACS connector. Hey, they're working and you can charge. This is good. More power would be welcome, but we don't have it. I'll have to say thank you, Ivy, for putting these in, even if I don't understand why the ABB chargers are still here and why you haven't fixed them yet. Maybe you're still getting to it. But still, nice to have working chargers. At least those ones. I'm pretty sure this one is working too. I could have used it, but I wanted to try out the new Kempower one, and why not? Okay, so now I've stopped charging, the Kona's gone, the EV9 is still sitting here. He's now getting, don't know if you can see this, he's now getting 107 kilowatts. So he's gone back up, and it's now saying that for other users, the next car has 100 kilowatts available on 800 volt class and 80 kilowatts at 400 volt class. So I think this is a station power availability limitation, and this may be a cabling limitation, if that makes sense. That's my guess. And let's see if, yeah, you can see that, right? The other car's left, suddenly he's getting his power back again. 157 amps, 156 amps, 100 kilowatts at 80%. Not bad at all. Might have to get me one of them. And I'm just going to wander over and see if this one says anything different now. Nope. Exactly the same. 100 kilowatts on an 800 volt class vehicle, and 80 kilowatts on a 400 volt class vehicle. And yes, these cables are definitely thicker than the ones in Whistler. So we have a few different limitations at work at this place on these Kempower chargers. The first one is the power availability from the single cabinet, 200 kilowatts. Then there's the power availability from the allocated channels. And there's also the limitation on the cable. And all of those are going to come into play along with how many vehicles are charging and how the power is being shared to determine what you're going to get. So, as much as I love these Kempower chargers, it does mean that it's a little hard to second guess how much power you're going to get on any given session, because if there are other cars, it's going to be shared, which is a good thing when there's not much power availability. But also, they can't provide even the full 200 kilowatts, it looks like. Oh, interesting. Look at this. While we've been talking, it's now saying only 80 kilowatts available on 800 volt class. Whoa, that's weird. Weird, man. Weird. Okay, I can say with some honesty that I don't fully understand this thing. 80 kilowatts on either. The EV9 is still charging and no one else is here. And he's getting to the top of his charge range and was under 100 kilowatts. So that would imply that there's another 100 kilowatts available. But this is not showing it. I think I need to talk to somebody who understands the architecture of these machines, because I don't understand the nuance. I was hoping that he would be leaving soon and I would get to see what this thing does, what the display says when he unplugs. And no one is charging. But it looks like they're taking their sweet time, and I might not be able to wait around for that. I'm just going to go over here and check if I. Oh yeah, the power cabinet here is quite warm, and fans are running, but you would expect that. I can't tell which ones are running and which ones aren't. I will say a lot of hot air coming out here, cool down here. Interestingly, this one is cool. This one is quite warm. This side of the cabinet is warm. This side of the cabinet is warm. Quite warm right there, actually. Oh, and the back is much warmer. Although it was in the sun for a while, so. Yeah. Was in the sun, but I just felt raindrops. I think we might be getting some rain. I'm going to go see what it says now. So now no one is charging at this site on the Kempower connectors. And it says 160 kilowatts available on 800 volts and 80 kilowatts at 400 volts. Fascinating. So no one, at least it doesn't offer up 200 kilowatts, even if no one else is here. Just like Trenton South. I truly don't understand them. Oh well. That's what research is for. Yep. Same over here. Ugh. Same over here. 160, 80. I can say I've learned something. I've learned that I don't fully understand how the power is allocated, and it's not quite as simple as I expected. But they work. Good.
Editor JP here. Ivy sent me the receipt for this session at Trenton North on the Kempower post, and I was a bit surprised because they are billing by time. The cost is $27 an hour. I wasn't expecting this because the other ONroute chargers, both old and upgraded, are billing per kilowatt hour. At Cambridge North, the cost is 69 cents a kilowatt hour at the new chargers. It's the same at other ONroute locations I looked at, except at Trenton. Here, things are weird. The old ABB 50 kilowatt units are still billed by energy at 69 cents a kilowatt hour, but the new Kempower posts are billed by time at $27 an hour. This makes no sense to me because the available power at each connector drops as more connectors are used. So when another vehicle starts charging, you not only get reduced charging power and longer charging times, but your effective cost for the energy goes up. That's crazy. It sounds terrible, but how bad is it really? If you were paying 69 cents a kilowatt hour, you would spend $27 in an hour if your charging power was 39 kilowatts. That's lower than any connector will have available even if all four are in use. If more power is available and your vehicle can accept it, your effective energy price goes down. In a fantasy world where you can pull the max power offered, 160 kilowatts, you'd only be paying 17 cents a kilowatt hour. So if you know you'll be charging at under 39 kilowatts, you're better off using the old ABB units. But at higher power, the Kempower posts are a better deal.
Well, there you have it. Checking out Trenton North on Canada Day. And all the units are powered up. The connectors on the ABB units are not repaired. The latch is still broken here. And all these connectors are live. Everyone was attempting to use them. The Tesla guy couldn't figure out the payment, but oh well. And the power sharing is working, but it does mean that it's considerably reduced power for all the vehicles charging at once. Sort of okay, Ivy. Sort of.